Hi, welcome to Coral Roots. I'm Adrian. This is my husband Eddie, a reluctant participant in the channel. Meet our golden retriever, Carol. Claire joins us as a special guest from time to time. And we live in Cape Coral, Florida. This channel is devoted to all things living that summer 365 lifestyle. Follow along as I serial start new projects and learn from YouTube University.
I think those are going to look so nice, don't you? Right now, some of the trees are a little tiny, but actually this one is perfect size. I have a new pomegranate flower. The other one fell off. I expect the same from this one. Pretty. Okay, so your question to me was what again?
Are we taking out the weeds or covering the weeds?
I do wish I had some cardboard or some cardboard paper type stuff. Let's weed whip them down and then just call it good, just to the nubbins.
Do you want to dig those in a little bit?
No. I actually want them to be higher because over time they're going to sink based on my knowledge from up front. So he hauled from under my neighbor's deck. We have circle, circle, circle. I wish there was one at the one to my right that I just passed, but alas, there is not. Circle, and then I am going to replace this cherry tree. It's just not going to be bouncing back. And right now they look a little, over here I feel like they look a little silly because they are so high, but my future vision is that now we'll have like walking paths around everything and it'll make a lot more sense. So, Plumeria is starting to bloom, isn't she pretty? Okay, I won't give you a full tour of the garden because I need to do an April garden tour. Yeah, these are going to look really good. I wish we had one more for that guy. Bummer. All right. I thought it was going to come just straight out, and it did. Look at that. Yard waste bin. Carol's living her best life. Do not run through that mulch. Gosh, it was 100. You were like a barrel racer, Carol. Oh, she's going to be exhausted. Are you thirsty? Should we get you some water? So it's one of the smaller ones. I think we need to have it here for the symmetry part, and then when/I get a tree, then I guess I'll figure that out. Yeah, that's way better with the
symmetry.
yeah. So this incredibly ugly caterpillar I found and thought I had to go look it up. Are you friend or foe? Technically foe to my lemon tree here, but it makes the giant swallowtail butterfly. I'll show a picture of it here on the screen. So is it considered wrong or bad YouTubing to say, hi, welcome to Coral Roots halfway through the video? Probably. Anyway, welcome. This is actually a few days later, clearly a different outfit, costume change, and I ended up going to the Edison Ford Gardens. They have a nursery there, and bought 2 plants. I went there to replace the dead Barbados Cherry that you saw Eddie pull out of the ground. That's the one that I had planted in the front, never gave it any attention. It was basically dead. I thought I would try to nurse it back to health back here where I could see it. It never came back. It literally just looked like a fossilized tree. So I replaced that. That's right here. I just watered these yesterday, so that's why they're on the grass. This was only $20 at the Edison Ford Nursery. Now, it's not very large. They had one that was a little bit bigger for $10 more, but I don't think it was that much bigger to warrant $10 more. So that's why I got this one. So $20, fabulous deal. And then while I was there, there was a super helpful lady there, and I didn't catch her name. So I feel crappy because I normally do try to catch people's names that I'm talking to when I'm speaking to people at nurseries and stuff, but alas, I didn't. Anyway, she was super helpful. I had the idea while I was there. I saw this plant, and I thought to myself, once I saw the pictures of it, and I'll put that up on the screen in a second, how beautiful would this be to put on, so I still have to do all the wires and hang the lights on the raised garden beds here, but how pretty would this plant be? It's called a Queen's Wreath Petria vine, I believe. It looks sort of like a wisteria meets a lilac, and it's going to just go, and I'm going to train it. It gets to be a pretty big base on it, so I have to figure out which one of these spots I want to put it, and then train the vines to go around, and then it's going to have beautiful draping flowers. Can you even? But can you even begin? Maybe I'll put a janky Photoshop here. Hold on, let me sit still. Now I'm going to superimpose it over. But Isn't it going to be gorgeous? I had the idea also to do espalier fruit trees. So espalier is where you, like the trees, usually it's apple trees, but you can do them with any fruit trees, where you train them along wires or in a shape. I was going to do that across here, but I realized as the tomato is growing that it's actually hard. Like I need to access the back side. Sorry, now you can't see me again. You need to access the back side. Got so excited I couldn't even speak, of the garden beds. And if I were to have like fruit tree here, you wouldn't be able to. So you'd have to be on the inside and only be able to reach over, which I realize it's possible. And maybe I'll still do that at some point. I don't know. You never know what Adrian will decide to do. Focus. So we have two things to do today. I need to plant that cherry tree, the Barbados Cherry, and I need to plant, stay here, my neighbor, I heard him outside, plant that Queen's Wreath vine. And the decision is, which pole do I want to put it on? Knowing that the base gets really large. So if I put it on that corner one over there, okay, so you're the sun right now, and the sun goes from there to there. If I put it on this front one, I think all the vines are going to keep trying to grow this direction, so that doesn't make much sense. So I feel like I need to put the vine on one of these back poles. Now my property line is basically here. So I'm wondering if I should put it, if I put it here, will it want to grow like this? Or right now my tomato plant is here. I could put it on this corner. You can't see me. Mine. Let me think about that while I'm doing the cherry tree. Let's think about that. And then the cherry tree, don't even think about sneaking one of my tomatoes. You'll get put inside the, thank you. Good gal, good gal. You'll have to go in the house again. The other day literally yesterday, hold on. Yesterday I was getting a bunch of tomatoes out of the garden. We're going out of town. When you see this, we should be back, but which is why I need to get these planted so that the stuff doesn't die. So I was trying to get as many tomatoes out as I possibly could. She was being so good, so I was treating her every once in a while with a little cherry tomato, and then she snuck one. So then she got kicked off the island. She had to go in the house, and she was sad. All right, so I'm going to place you here in the corner. Now this is where, oops, sorry, Carol, did I make you jump? This is where the cherry tree was. Now what I'm thinking, future vision is I want to basically create like shell-lined paths. So like imagine you come off the sidewalk. I don't know where yet. I haven't figured that out. That's why the placement matters. And there's like a shell-lined path. And I got this idea from actually walking around. Zoomies! See, she gets so happy in the garden. Got this idea actually at Edison Ford where you can like walk through some narrower paths in their back gardens. So imagine you're like walking and now you get to go under the hibiscus tree and then under the plumeria, under the jaboticaba, which I should talk about why I tied these up. That's another video. And then like you kind of wind your way. So I'm imagining maybe I should put it like here, because then you can wind your way up and then you can't see me now, but I'm on the side of the, like this would be the pathway between the yards. So if I come and I'm walking, this pathway comes down, that means I can put something to my left. If I have the cherry tree here, then the path winds this way, and then it winds, maybe it pops right here. And then I'm imagining like the path over on this one then would be like here. In the future, we have more fruit trees so that as you walk under them, like you pluck a jaboticaba fruit or you pluck a Barbados cherry fruit. Are you butt scooching on my video, Carol? So right now, I feel like it's gonna look a little random, but it will make sense when you have a walking path through it, right? Okay, I'm walking down the side, and then if the path winds, I feel like maybe I just put my in a weird spot too. So I have my path here. Oh, I almost feel like something does need to, maybe I didn't put it back here, but then it just feels like the path should go straight. Or what if you're coming from here, and then the path winds, yeah, the path winds in. I was thinking all the way down there. Okay, so here's the other thing. On each side of the path, I can have the opportunity to put plants and stuff. So by cutting through the yard, it actually creates more, not less, planting space. I'm taking a pause button in the shade here. In a very fun turn of events, I discovered, or at least I made every time. Literally every time I go to do like just talking, out you go. But he's here. I'll tell you. So in a very fun turn of events, I split the vine. It looked like there were actually 3 in there. So I left 2 together because they were pretty snug. And then I'm going to take the other one and plant it and grow it as a tree specimen. Kind of how we have the fun powder puff as an ornamental. We'll have that one as an ornamental over there. It's going to be awesome, I think. I don't know. We'll see if it works. I mean, it's worth a shot. And I also have the vine tied up with twine, which is not great for it, but that's what I have right now, so that's what it's getting. And we are now done for today. Let's take a look, and I will say thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Next time. Like, subscribe and stuff. I ended up deciding to put the Queen's Wreath on this corner because currently I have a tomato over there, the butterfly bush in a pot, forget the name of that palm in that pot. So I thought this corner needed something. And then I ended up using some leftover pavers that I scrounged from around the yard to create like a little bed so when the yard guys come, they don't weed whip the base. As I said before, the twine is not the most ideal way of stringing this up, but when we get back, I will work on getting the wires for the top, and that is where the cafe lights are going to go, the little hanging string lights, as well as create basically like a little feeder wire that they can go up and I can train them up. So that is that. And then because I discovered that it actually had more than one vine in there, or more than one plant in there, I split it and then decided to put the other one over here. Now, maybe this will take, maybe it won't, I'm not sure. But it was worth a gamble on it, right? Right. I put it here because I'm going to train this one instead of as a vine. I'm going to train it as a tree. So I actually cut one of the edge thing in the ground there. I cut that one off. It was making a Y. And I cut it so I can train it to have just the trunk. And the thought is it's going to grow tall and have those big, beautiful wisteria / lilac looking flower plumes and block the house while still having water view. That was the thought there. And then cherry tree right here. This one could use a little bit of staking, I think. I didn't have a lot of dirt. I should have actually probably not put the mulch on until I was able to fill that in better, but for now we're good. So the thought again would be that I'm going to take and create a little path, and I decided it's going to go between these 2 trees, I think. But I could change my mind and put it over here. Who knows? So the path is either going to wind this way. I have this on a slow trickle right now so it can get deep watered, and then wind our way back up and then around those. Or we will take a little walking path straight through here and then come around there and pop out somewhere on the sidewalk. So that was a lot of fun, a lot of digging. Actually, not really a ton of digging. It's all sand. I'm sorry I didn't bring you along for digging that one. I just got going, got it done. It's fine. That one still needs mulch. But for today, we're going to call it good. We got them in the ground before we leave. And aside from it not raining, they should get water. I would imagine we're going to get rain in the next week. So hopefully they will survive without me babying them for the next 6 days. But all right, officially, ciao. Bye.